Hello, everyone, and welcome to Roadmap 54, the podcast that talk about Africa and what African people they are doing across the continent. Today episode we are going to travel again to Angola, my country, by the way, and I have with me few curiosities about Angola. Let me share with you. Um, Angola is a country in the southern part of Africa, and Angola is the seventh largest country in Africa, and has one of the youngest population in the world. I didn't know about it, by the way. Uh, Angola have more than 17% of the total population is under 24 years old. Angola is also home to one of the Africa's largest waterfall, the Calandula Fall, and Quedas de Calandula in Portuguese, and it is located in Malange province. I never went there. I want to one day be able to go to this place. And today episode I'm so happy again to be with someone that, by the way, this person was invited but our first guest, Pedro Massango. And before I call this person, I want Pedro like tell us why he wanted this person come here. And this person is from Angola, from my country, and he is a friend of mine, and I'm like very happy to have him. Let us listen a little bit to what Pedro said about this person.
Be Braulio Cassule. Uh, you know him, I know him, and yeah, I really want him to share his journey because I think people would uh, learn a lot from him, and yeah, he have a lot he do have a lot of knowledge to share with the community.
Wow. And well, better than me, Pedro or also introduce this person. And today I will be interview Braulio Cassule. Hi, Braulio. How are you, my friend? How are you?
Hi, Eliza. I'm good, thanks. How are you? How are you today?
I'm fine too. I'm good today. How is Angola? We are in the same country. We are in the same province, Luanda. But in your side of the country, how is Angola today?
It's good. It's all right. It's like it's always been.
Fine, fine. Tell me, how do you feel knowing that Pedro recommend you to come here to this podcast? How do you feel? Like he say, I want Braulio Casul here because he have a very good life journey, and I think that he have a lot of insight to share with people, and he also want to learn with you, and I want to learn with you today too. How do you feel it?
Well, it's an honor to be. By the way, it's an honor to be invited to the Roadmap 54 podcast by you, my friend Eliza, and by my other friend Pedro. I feel honored to be selected as one of the people who has a lot to share, and I hope not to disappoint anyone. Um, I stopped hearing you, Elisa.
Yes. Okay. I say that I know you will not disappoint anyone because I know you have a lot to share with me and with other people. But tell me a little bit how is for you on or how was for you growing up in Angola and living in Angola. How's your experience here?
Okay, well, to start off, uh, I lived my almost my whole life here in Angola, and since since I was born, and then until I turned 17 years old, when I traveled not far away from here, but uh, I'll share a little bit of how was my journey here. Angola, like many other African countries, is it's very similar because we are part of the same region. What happens here in Angola happens in Zambia, Zimbabwe, Ghana, because we are in sub-Saharan Africa. So the way our parents raise us is quite similar to any other parents in any other African region. So I started my my learning school process here since grade 1 to grade 12, and just like any other African male guy. And the difference was that I gained a little bit of, how can I say, interest in computers when my father bought me a computer in 2004. And what was my what was the difference was that I started playing with the computer very early in my life. I started painting, sleeping late because I was painting on Paint, the Windows program, Paint. Yeah, I started painting on that program, watching videos and stuff, and I gained interest in computers. And then when I went to high school, I said I wanted to do IT, and that's what I do until up to this day.
Wow. And Braulio, I know that you did IT in high school here in Angola. Where did you study?
Well, I studied in Colegio Patricia Rosana the second, I think. Yeah, it was a quite famous high school here in Angola, especially in Luanda. Um, my father registered me to in that school because it was one of the best schools in Luanda, and I that's when I started gaining a little bit of skills in programming and stuff like Visual Basic, and I was quite good at it, and I enjoyed quite a lot.
Oh, great. This is nice. And your university, I know that you didn't study here in Angola. You went to Namibia, if I'm not wrong. Like, how was your experience living there? And I don't know if you learn English in basic school because Namibia is our neighbor country, and the official language in Namibia is English, different from here in Angola that our official language is Portuguese. Basically, I want to know, like, for you, how was this transition between one country to another, one language to another? Like, I think, like, here in Africa, we can have, as you say, we are quite similar mainly for us
Hmm.
in sub-Saharan Africa, but we still have our simple and difference in small things, but still a difference. I want to know basically how was for you adapt to a new reality with language, new people, kind of food that can be a little bit different from one country to another.
Yeah, well, interesting question because as you said, like here in Angola we speak Portuguese, and in Namibia they speak English. So to make the transition, I actually went to an English school, but not in Namibia. Actually, I did English for 1 year in South Africa, uh, i- specifically in Pretoria. And what I noticed that is that South Africa, unlike other African countries from the sub-Saharan Africa, is very diverse. Diverse in culture, diverse in in food, in people, because we have mix of everyone. We have many. We have they have Indians, they have British, Dutch, the native South Africans, and the difference is between South Africa and Angola is that they are the native South Africans are very ingrained in their culture. You see, they speak their languages even in the city. You see them speaking their native language like Zulu, Xhosa, and that's the main difference that I found between Angola and South Africa while studying English there. And while studying English, I actually studied with many people from around the world, like from Iran, South Sudan, Russia, Brazil, many people from around the world. So that that experience was really enriching for me, and I gain a lot of experience on of how interesting this world and how big it actually is. My Iranian friend actually introduced some showed me some foods of her, and they put a lot of saffron in their food, and I found that quite interesting. You see, and it just gave me the experience that I needed to see how exactly this world is without actually leaving leaving Africa behind. And so after that, after doing 1 year of English in South Africa, I went to Namibia to study in the university, which I did IT also, IT related course for about 4 years. That was from 2013 to 2017. That the experience was almost the same as in South Africa because South Africa and Namibia are very close, so they share a lot of culture, even the language. You can find people in Namibia who speak Afrikaans, who speak English, or a lot of German communities, and but the main difference that stuck with me is that uh, Namibians are very ingrained in their culture, unlike Angola also. You find young people speaking their native language like Mvambo on the day on the daily basis activities, you see, and they treat elderly differently, and they are very respectful people. That's what I found it most interesting about Namibia while studying there, and it was quite an experience for me. I learned a lot too.
Wow, I didn't know about all things that you are explaining here about this. That in South Africa, it is possible you found a mix of world culture, people from different place, and I
Mhm.
think
Yes, it is.
this kind of experience they shape our life and the way that you think. And I think for you was basically the same. You see like people around the world, but being in Africa and be able to experience all their culture and learn with them. This is very nice. And tell me something. After you finish your course, um, how was your next step? Like you come back to Angola, you stayed there like in Namibia. How was like for you navigate through? Okay, my course is finished now. What is next?
Um, so yeah, very interesting question also. Uh, Let me tell you something. I left Angola when I was 17 years old, and I came back when I was 23. So it's been like 6 years or something like that. I left when I was in 2012, and I came back in 2017. And this whole year, this time that's passed, it gave me a lot of experience. What the main thing that stuck with me was that although I was in other country and experiencing those those experiences, I felt like I wasn't the ground I was walking in is not it was not my own. The hassle of uh, of acquiring documents in immigration and stuff like that, like visa and many other documents. It's a hassle, and you don't feel actually safe. It's not that I don't feel safe. It's like I don't feel a sense of belonging. I don't know if you understand me. I didn't feel a sense of belonging. I felt the sense of belonging when I was in my country, in my home country, Angola. I always felt like an outsider while being in other countries. And that's what made me come back. And also because I had many thoughts of how of how I could help my country grow, but with the experience that I gained along the way. And that's what made me come back. And the reason why I wanted to come back was to contribute to and make an impact. Just to let you know, I made a commitment to myself that I want my goal, my purpose is to make an impact on the people, a positive impact on with the people around me with technology. That's my life's mission, and till this day, I'm fulfilling at least at least I'm trying to fulfill this mission.
uh, I can say that you did it and you're still doing it. And you did very well. Like, very, very well. You know, I know, and I think a lot of people here in Angola, they know that you did it. You did well. You really did well.
I'm still in the process. Don't rush me. I'm still I'm gonna do this till 50, till I'm 50, till I maybe I don't know when. But this is a process. It takes a long time, and I'm on this mission, and I'm not quitting. Even though things may seem shaky or unstable at the moment, we just gotta keep going, right?
Right, right, right. And I'm excited to see the impact that you will be building for 1 year up now, because it's like I think I can say for all people that they are from GDG Luanda that, like, bro, because of you the community is still there. I think when you come back and you decide to open GDG Luanda, this made a huge impact, like only because of a community. And the example that we have across the country for young people that they started in GDG and right now they're working in tech. And a lot of them, they are not living in Angola anymore, they are living in other countries. They're changing the world in their way with code, and mainly because you decide to start a community. And I think, like, I don't know how I can say more. This is a
Uh,
huge impact that still.
yeah, yeah. Thanks a lot. Thanks, Eliza. Uh, these words a lot means a lot to me. But I shouldn't take all the credit because I didn't actually start GDG Luanda. If I may, GDG is just a Google developer group, a community of developers who come together to learn and share knowledge about technologies. The GDG Luanda was actually started in 2013 by Desando Norton, and while it was inactive for some time, when I came back to Angola, I actually reactivated the chapter for Angola, mainly because I was inspired with the work that other people were doing in other countries, like even in Philippines, all around the world. And I said, why not make an impact here, right? What are we waiting for? And that's why we started GDG Luanda. But yeah, and we had many events, and we brought people together with the same objective, with the same purpose, which was building technologies to help other people grow or even make their lives better. And that's what we see today. We see many people who are part of the community who are now living abroad and making an impact for themselves and for the people around them. And that makes me happy. That makes me happy. But as I said, it doesn't stop there. For me to make an impact in the community, it's a long process. And it doesn't end with one person. It doesn't end with me. So what I did was to pass the ball, just like the ball was passed to me. I passed the ball to other people, and the other people will pass on the ball, and the community will grow and will start flourishing by itself. It doesn't have to depend on one single person. And we move on to other things in life that are even more aligned with our mission. Even if not so, we can align with it with the mission even later in our life. So that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, this is true. It is. It really is. And we are talking about the GDG. I want to be able to talk about how was for you going to America.
Oh
Tell
yeah.
us a little bit about this story with Flutter and all this, like Flutter advocate community. I want to listen more about it. How it start?
Okay. Yeah. So, well, as you know, before I traveled on my own to study abroad, I actually went to other countries with my father, with my parents, because my father actually didn't work in Angola. He worked in many other countries like Sierra Leone, Congo, Cote d'Ivoire. So I traveled around Africa when I was little. I I'm sorry I don't remember quite a lot, so I won't be able to explain how was the experience. But I traveled a lot around Africa, but I've never actually left Africa. Uh, I left Africa for the first time when I was invited by Google to to Google I/O, which is a summit that happens every year in in Google's headquarters. I was very happy to be invited there because Elisa may know that I used to work with, oh, I work with the technology called Flutter, and I was quite enthusiastic about it at the time, and I made a few contributions to the in open source that led me to them contact me to and invite me to join Google I/O in the United States. So I was there for the summit, and it was also like any other quite an enriching experience. And I met many people that I only used to see online that inspired me to start what I started, and to actually meet them in person was actually just mind blowing. You won't believe it. I couldn't believe when I was there, but yeah, it was good. It was really really good. One of the best experiences that I ever had. Yeah, I hope this chance comes back again.
Oh, I'm sure that will. I'm quite sure that it will. And I can imagine, like, I think for you was kind of like going to concerts of some single and see them like, oh my god.
It was more like a kid in a candy shop.
Amazing. Do you know that you are the first person that I know that went to United States and was invited by Google? I remember when you told us, me and the Pedro were like, "Oh my god, this is amazing!" Like
Yeah,
was so good.
doesn't happen to this doesn't happen to many people. This is one in a million chance that happens. It could be any. You see, it could be anyone from around the world, but they chose me. This the fact that they chose me still uh, impacts me to this day. That may seem they may feel like maybe I'm special. Maybe I could do big in this world. Maybe in my country, in my home country.
I think that you are special. You really are because of all work that you did, And I think
Thanks.
at least you have a story for your kids. When you become a grandpa, you can tell it to your grandchildren. I think
Yeah,
this
for
is an
sure.
amazing
For sure.
story. This really is. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I'm so happy to have you here, Braulio. And tell us more a little bit. How is your life like currently? You still working in? Do you still doing open source works? Yes, no. How is like your experience right now?
Um. Good question. I'm not actually active anymore in the community as I used to. Not even in open source contribution, but I feel like I'm still aligned with my mission, which is to impact people around me with technology. Because one of the things that stuck with me while I was building community was that although was growing and my skills were I was building my skills with open source and stuff. I wasn't actually impacting people directly with technology, which was my mission. And even more so, people around me with technology. So maybe I thought, well, maybe I should start maybe starting a business of my own or a startup wasn't the best ideas because I was a tech guy. I was quite technical and I wasn't business oriented. So joining someone who's already started, who joining a project which actually people use uh, is a more sound thing to do. That's when I joined Next. I started working for Next, which was a software company, which I worked directly with you, uh, if you remember. And we started building products, a product that should impact people directly with and help people pay even more easily, streamline the payment process for tickets and stuff. And we built Box. That project then end quite well because it 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 was a quite uh, important project for my career, uh, I think. And then I moved to the company that I started, which is a bank, and I feel like this this mission with that I want to impact people around me with technology. I'm still on it. I'm still doing it, and even more so directly, because So I work with technology every day. I lead people building a technology that people actually use. To be maybe around 1 million people in Angola use. Yeah. So I think that's quite impactful and that aligns with my mission.
Oh wow. I think this is the first time that I will understand you, like understand about your mission and what you really want to do. I think like you know how we start and the way that a lot of us and people around us they think how we need to do doing the things, but for me I think this is the first time that I really understand what do you really want to do. And listen to you talk about it, I feel like you are happy doing what you are doing. And I know the company that you are work on, and I know the project field of project that you work, because I work a small time with you there. And it is good because there are projects that that myself I use like every day or kind of every day. And
You see?
yes, and
Yeah. That's
it's
what I
really
said.
mhm.
That's what I said. Even though you don't know directly, but at least my work impacts you directly, and that's what I want to do. I don't need to be known about that Braulio built this feature and Braulio did this, but just the fact that my work impacts you in a positive way and in a positive way directly, that makes me a lot happy.
Great, great. I think this is very nice because this will make a lot of people understand what you will want to do. And as I was saying, like it is true, your work impact the life of millions Angolan people here in Angola and outside of Angola too. Because and it is nice because they use it like every day in their phones, you know, in their web browse, and I'm happy to know.
And don't get me wrong. This is my mission. It's a personal mission of mine, and other people may have different purposes, and it's all right. People don't have to do the same thing because that wouldn't make us what we are. We are different as human beings, right? And that's the essence. Some people will be artists. Some people will be uh, in IT. Some people will be singers, and that's perfectly fine.
It really is, and I think we need to start to understand it that our purpose or things that we like they are completely different, and maybe try to stop pushing people to going to the same path as us, because sometimes we think that maybe this is the best way. And I will not say that this is bad, mainly because for them we are friends. You know, me as your friend, I want you to do better because I know how capable you are to do amazing things. And sometimes I want like let me push Braulio because I know how great he is and how far he can go, like the quantity of things that he can achieve. But we don't have like time to sit and talk sometimes and try to understand really what the other person wants, and realize that okay, maybe this is his personal life, you know, this is what he wants. And me as your friend, I still need to sharing behind you, you know, and be your cheerleader no matter what is the path that you are following. Of course
Yeah,
need to be a good path and make you happy you know. And
that's,
yeah, I think
that's
we
what
need to
friends are
have
for,
time.
right?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's what friends are for, to cheer you up when you're going to the wrong path and say, "Hey, you're not aligned with yourself." Exactly.
Yeah, this is true, this is true. And tell me, now I want to go a little bit in your personal life. Tell me how is the how is
It's
the
fine.
experience of have a family. I think I can see your ring there. Do that. Show
Yeah,
us. Show us. Yes.
I'm married, and I'm actually in my kids' room doing a podcast with you for Roadmaps 54. So you can see I'm a family guy, and all I do is besides working is be with my family, spend time with them because I've seen what life is like and how times pass really quick. I've seen with my father. Uh, Time passes really quickly, and I don't want to spend the time anywhere else besides with my family.
Oh wow, this is so beautiful. Tell me, how is your experience to be a father and here in Angola, and to like raise human beings for this um, crazy world that we are. I think the world changed a lot since we born, and now you are bringing the next generation. How
Yeah,
is for you like be able to bring this human being, this next generation to this world, and try to give it to them all the values that you have, and try to inform them as a better version of yourself. How is going this experience?
a very good question, and I should actually take the time to reply this because um, I don't want to people to get me wrong. Uh, I'm still early in my father career, in the career of being a father because it's a career. Uh, but uh, I know that living in Angola, living in sub-Saharan Africa is tough. It's tough to raise children because of insecurity, poverty, economic instability, uh, and I know it's tough. Uh, but hey, it's a country. We are part of it, right? We can make it better, and to make it better, actually, for me, it starts with family. Families actually are the building blocks of societies. And so, what I think is that I should teach my children, first of all, to have values. Values are what will guide them throughout their life. Um, I can do anything, teach them how the world works, and they still will not follow their path if I don't give them values. And I think personally that's the main goal to use as students so that when they grow up they keep their values in their lives, and that's what will make them make better decisions for themselves and for their lives and for the people that will come after them. That's the basis, the essentialism of how people and societies work, and I think I'm also contributing to that. And I know that uh, in the next few years it will be challenging, and I think, Eliza, the world is in a constant change, and I think you know that. But what I personally think is that although living in Angola or in any sub-Saharan Africa is challenging, well, you face many other challenges wherever you go. If you're fleeing, if you're running away from troubles, you'll find out any other troubles, just different ones in any other place that you'll go, right? So you have to be resilient. You have to adapt to the constant changes. And if you make it here, you can make it anywhere because believe me, it's actually 100 times harder to be successful here than anywhere else, right? And that's my thinking. That's my philosophy of life. And that's how I raise my children as a parent.
Amazing. You know, you say the same thing as Pedro in the first episode. He say, and I think maybe all Angolan we say it, that if you can live in Angola, you can live in whatever place in this
Anyway,
world. Yeah, anywhere.
anyway.
You really can live anywhere because here we have a challenge, but you know something that for me is make me surprised is how quick we can adapt with all, like whatever situation that happen in our country. Like people here, they really can adapt like this. You know, it is
In fact, yeah.
looks like a
And,
superpower,
yeah.
Angolan superpower.
And people, I think many people from around the world don't actually know the struggles. They know, yeah, Africa has poverty, but do they really actually know how do people deal with this poverty? I don't think they do, and that's the that's one of the things that people should investigate more. And I think that's what Roadmap 64 is all about, to know how actually people are adapting with the constant changes of the world and in our societies, because it's really a struggle, and you have to be quick and adapt to the constant changes, and that's not easy. That's not easy in living in a safe place with an unstable economy, with inflation going through the roof, and to do that and still be with a happy face. I mean, you're resilient.
We
Yeah.
really are. We really are resilient because uh, it is not easy, and this is one of my main purpose with this podcast is I think people they know about Africa, as you said, poverty and war and all bad things, but at the end of the day, I think we can ask ourselves, if you live in a continent or in a country that have so many issue, why you still live there? Like people they still live here. We still like raising children. We still working, we're still building things, we're still being like young African people doing amazing project that, yeah, but we are really resilient. We will know how to adapt to different situations, because today you can wake up, the price of some good is low, and tomorrow is three times higher than the day before yesterday. But I don't know how we do that, but we really adapt. This is how we are.
Yeah. Uh, the question that you asked me, um, it, it touches in something that I think is really important. Um, I'm very, how can I say, I believe a lot in where I'm from and how they shapes us. And I think that just because that you're facing an adversity, it doesn't um, take away uh, that essence of where you're from. I don't know if you get me. Um, let's say your basic thing like your skin color. You can change places, but your skin color will always be the same. You can change places, but your accent will always be the same. You can do makeup, but your essence, where you're from, it's actually really important. And my idea or my thinking is that you don't try to disconnect where you are from who you are. That's that's something that you cannot take away. So, uh, even though the challenges we face are immense, and actually really tough. You don't have to, uh, what can I say? You don't have to flee. You can change where you are and not who you are.
Wow,
So
so
that's all
so
I have to
wise.
say.
So so wise, like, hmm, this is true. So wise.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Wow, amazing, Braulio. Hmm, amazing. We are almost in the end of this episode, and I want to say thank you so much for accepting this invitation. I think this was amazing, and as your
My
friend,
pleasure. My pleasure, Lisa.
and as your friend, I can say that today I really learned more about you, and and this is amazing. I'm happy to do it, and I think I want to do it more. Yeah, I really want to be able to have this kind of space that we can talk more freely and openly. And sure, I will invite you that we can talk with other things that they are happening across our continent, across our country, and I really want to be able to listen more to your thoughts and what do you think about life in general way, mainly life here in Africa, and to be more specific here in Angola, and how we can still navigate through all the difficulty that we face and still smiling, like
Yeah,
still
sure.
just smiling.
We can have it anytime. Just hit me a call and maybe we'll do that.
Great, we will. And because we are almost done at the end of each episode, I like to ask my final question that the idea is the guest in this case you recommend or invite someone to come here in the podcast. This person can be in maybe the next episode or the other one, but as I did with you, when the person come, I will remember who was the person that invited them, like playing the small audio, and I want you to tell me the name of this person, the country that this person come from, and why do you want me to bring this person here. Go.
Okay. I think uh, we'll go for someone who is a, in a closest circle of friends, but is someone who actually inspires me, and I look up to him, and I think it's a symbol of resilience for me at least, because he's been building his startup for like 7 years or something, and he's still at it to this day. Many other people have tried and they failed it, and but he's still in it. And it's someone who really actually inspires me a lot because of his life story. And this person is Carlos Jaime. I have mm, a high admiration for him, and I think he should be uh, an important figure here in the Roadmap 54 podcast.
Another challenge for me. Oh my god. When you start talking, I was like, I guess he will say Carlos Jaime, and you said it. Oh, this will be a challenge for me. This will be really, really a challenge. I don't know how I will bring him here, but I will try my best. I will try.
Please try. I really want to listen to him and what he has to say, because he has a lot to share, a lot.
This is true, and I work with Carlos for like 5 years, and was amazing, and I'm very happy to listen this name. But at the same time, I'm feeling okay. I don't know how. I really don't know, to be sincere.
Yes,
How I will convince
try
him
try
to come,
everything
but
you
I will
have,
try.
and
Yes,
then Yeah.
I will try. You can help me too.
Sure, sure.
Okay, okay. Thank you so much, Braulio. Thank you more one time
You're welcome.
for accept this invitation. Thank you to be here with me to talk, to share your life experience, to share a little bit about your family. And before we finish, I want you, if you want to say more, like something you have like few minutes to say some words.
I don't have much to say. Just for people to be curious and learn about how this world actually works. And you see that uh, maybe Africa is in a situation at this moment, but we are the makers. We are the change. We can make the change if we want. It doesn't have to be the way it is as of now. That's what I wanted to say.
Wow, this is true. We are the change for our own home, for our continent. And
Exactly.
I think that in few years we will feel more impact that young African people they are doing like you across the continent in their different ways. Impact that can be in all place, like the apps and the work that you are doing, building technology that help Angolan people every day, or other kind of impact. Braulio, thank you so much for accepting
My pleasure to
be
be here.
here, and I will invite you for other episode. I'm like as I say, very happy to have you. And for the people that they
I
listen
was
to us,
actually,
yes, say
let me just say, I was actually very quite skeptical coming here because, hey, I don't have much to say. I'm just a simple guy living in Angola. What can I aggregate of value here? But it was actually quite enjoyable. It seems like a lot. I have a lot to say, and I didn't know.
you really have you. I told you that you have a lot to say. I told you, you know. Because of this, I will invite you more. Come here, share more things with us. I think all people they have a lot to say. Sometimes we don't know,
Yeah,
but
sure.
we all have like something important to say. And I know uh, the things that you said here, someone will listen and will feel it. I'm sure about it.
Hope so. I hope so. It was fun.
Yeah, I will enjoy it. Thank you so much. Thank you, Braulio, more one time. Thank you for
Thanks,
all
Elisa.
people that they listen to us, and I hope that we can be more together in the next episode. And bye bye.
Bye.